Okay, as promised, I'm back, and we are looking at arcs and angle measures. So the first thing we have three separate kinds. We have angles that meet inside the triangle. So we know that these two angles are the same. They're vertical angles. And what this vertical angle is going to be is equal to the red plus the blue divided by 2. So it's an average of the two intercepted arcs or described arcs. So it's the sum divided by 2. Now, where that changes is if we go, and it's actually, yeah, go away. That's shapes. I want a line. I have no clue what just happened. The line got way out of hand. If we have a secant intersecting to where it occurs on the circle, then this arc right here in relation to this angle right here, we'll call this angle 1 and this angle 2. So the measure of angle 2 is going to be that pink arc divided by 2, and the measure of angle 1 would be the blue arc divided by 2. So notice that this rule is very similar to just any other inscribed angle, to where if this is x, then this is 2x. Then finally, we have a third option, which is when I don't like that. They meet outside the circle. And in this case, you know that these two angles are the same. That's not what I want. Go away. So you guys get to basically sit there and watch me get frustrated. Here's our circle. So we know that these two are the same. So we got this the first angle right there, and then we've got the second one right here. So these two lines that intersected are describing or intercepting two separate angles. So in this case, what we're actually going to do is we're going to subtract. So we're going to take the difference between the two and divide that by 2, and that's going to give us the measure of these angles. So if it's in the circle, you add them up divided by 2. If it's on the circle, you just divide it by 2. And if it's outside the circle, you subtract them and divide it by 2. So let's give you guys some examples. It's crazy. I have no clue what's going on. All sorts of weird crap. Anyway. Okay, seriously? You need to... Okay. So here, the angle we're looking for is YZV. So it's this angle right here. So we don't actually have any information about here and here. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to solve for these two angles, and then we'll be able to just subtract from 180 to get the other one. So here, they meet inside the circle. So we go 144 plus 114 divided by 2. That's going to give us 258 divided by 2, or 129. So we know that each of these angles is 129 degrees. So this angle right here is going to be 180 minus 29, or 51 degrees. And that'd be our answer. Likewise, if we know that this is 93, and we know AD is down here, the measure of arc AD, we'll call that x. So we know that 161 plus x divided by 2 equals 93. Because again, we know that the measure of this angle right here is the average of this arc right here and this arc right here. So we're going to multiply both sides by 2. That gives us 161 plus x equals 186. We're going to subtract 161 from both sides, and we get the measure of arc AD as 25 degrees. Okay, let's look down at number 4. So we need JLK, so we need this piece right here. So we know that from here all the way around to here is 298 degrees. So the measure of arc, that's not right. The measure of arc LNJ is 298, which means that the measure of arc JL is going to be 360 minus 298, or 62 degrees. Here they meet on the circle, so we know that the arc described is going to be half or twice the angle. So we know the measure of angle JLK is going to be 1/2 of arc JL. Since we know that arc JL is 62, 62 divided by 2, we know the measure of angle JLK is 31 degrees. Looking at number 6. So even though I know it may not look like, because they're not intersecting out here and describing even if it's just a little one like this and a smaller one like that. Here you have 2 tangent lines, but it still describes 2 arcs. You have this arc right here, and you have this arc out here, TSV. So if this is 108 right here, then the rest of it is going to be 360 minus 108, which is going to be 252 degrees. So the measure of TUV, this angle right here, is going to be this big angle, 252, minus the smaller angle, 108, and we're going to take that average. 252 divided by 108 is 144. Divide that by 2, and we get 72 degrees. So this is 72 degrees right here. It's nice and sunny, it's 72. Here, we know that that angle is 29, and so we're looking for this arc right here, H to J. Well, we know the measure of the angle is going to be 96, we'll call this X right here, divided by 2. Here we know the measure of the angle is 29, so we just multiply both sides by 2. 58 equals 96 minus X. Subtract 96 from both sides. I know this seems weird because we're going to end up with negative numbers, but it's okay. And then we get 38. Negative 38 equals negative X. Multiply both sides by, or divide both sides by negative 1. It really doesn't matter. We get X equals 38 degrees. How would I check this, you say? Well, if I know that this is 38, I'd go, what's 96 minus 38 divided by 2? If all is done right, we should get 29. So this would be going back this way, just checking our work. 96 minus 38, 58. 58 divided by 2, 29. We have a 29 degree angle here. Everything checks out. The rest of it is kind of the same type of problems, just algebra. I think you guys are good. If you have any questions, let me know tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening.